Ten.
Standby to take studio.
7, 6.
Standby camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Take studio.
Good afternoon, MCHS, and welcome back to another episode of MCTV News. I'm your host, Skylar Lomola.
And I'm Ben Lawrence. On today's episode, Stephen Hoffman shows us just how the video game Dark Souls ruins lives. Our Grade 9 reporters take a look at what goes on in the Grade 9 Home Economics class, and we take a look at the Regional Skills Canada video created by my co-host and I. But first, our top story.
During spring break, MCHS students and faculty spent 2 weeks touring Japan. A couple of episodes ago, we saw the highlights from the first week. And now, thanks to our international correspondent, Julie Audi, we get to see what MCHSers did during the second half of the trip.
Welcome to the second installment of MCHS's trip to Japan. Mount Fuji was our first stop on March 31st.
I just remember we took a stop before Mount Fuji so that we could have it like in the background, and then the whole group got together and we just took it with it right above our heads.
Hiroshima, as many of you know, was one of the targets the United States chose to drop nuclear bombs on in order to devastate the Axis side during World War II.
We took a tour with a lady and a guy, and the guy was telling us about his grandpa, I think, was really close to the bombing, and the lady told us about how her mother lost her sister.
The Sky Tower is a very tall building in Osaka that couples visit in order to engrave heart-shaped locks with their names on for good luck.
The Sky Tower, it was an incredible building. On the inside, there was like a cool thing that I read, and it was talking about how it's a way to get to the Sky Garden, which is this futuristic idea about aliens coming down and transporting us to this wonderful Garden of Eden type area.
During our 2-week-long visit, we saw many Buddha temples, but one with a combined deer sanctuary took the cake for many students.
That was probably my favorite part of the entire trip because the Buddha was really cool because it was really big and there was other smaller Buddha statues, but just to see how really huge it was, that was pretty cool. And then the deer that were surrounding the Buddha were super cute because they're only about waist high and they're just there and there's so many, and I loved it. And yeah, and it was kind of a cold day that day too, but it was still the highlight of my entire trip.
The Ferris wheel was a massive surprise for many people, as beforehand we would have had to pay 800 yen for a ride. So many people decided that they didn't want to go, that they'd go straight to the aquarium, which was right next door.
The Ferris wheel was fun, even though that was a thing created because our hotel sucked. So we basically got to go on the Ferris wheel for free. But it was worth it, because when you're at the top, you could see Universal Studios Japan, and you could see the aquarium. It was kind of just a chill ride on the Ferris wheel. And then the aquarium was a lot of fun, and I wish we had more time to do the aquarium, because there were so many animals and fish to see. Really cool to see the whale sharks and the guy feeding the whale sharks and the guy almost getting sucked into the whale shark, I'm pretty sure. That was terrifying. They had a lot of stuff there too, like seals and penguins, and they were awesome. And then at the very end they had a little touch petting zoo for touching stingrays and small sharks, and it was pretty snazzy.
Bamboo Garden was something that many students looked forward to and was quite overwhelming.
It was really cool. It's one of the top places that I liked. It's really neat because it's kind of like a whole completely different world once you walk in, because the bamboo is so high that you can't really see anything, and it's kind of really weird because it sounds kind of boring when you describe it, because it's hard to describe because it's just a bunch of bamboo sticks. But I don't know, I thought it was really neat being having that the only thing that you can see.
And that's it for week 2 in Japan. Be sure to join the school next year for another amazing trip. For MCTV News, this is Giuliotti reporting.
There's no doubt that the town of Morinville seems to be growing every year, and there's no signs of stopping anytime soon. From plans for a new arena and new chain restaurants such as Dairy Queen, the future looks bright here in the studio today, as we are very pleased to have Mayor of Morinville, Lisa Holmes. So Speaking of new developments, there's a lot of speculation on what's the fate of the new arena. So can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, absolutely. The arena project is moving ahead and we're all really excited about it. It's probably one of the biggest infrastructure projects that the community is going to undertake. So what we've been doing right now is we have two things happening. The land is just a farmer's field, so we're setting it all up to be serviced, putting all the pipes in the ground for the water and the sewer, the road access. And that'll happen starting sometime in September, probably stopping in mid-March, April. At the same time, we're also approaching all of the municipalities in the region in Sturgeon County, trying to talk about what's needed, doing a needs assessment, and planning out what the facility will include. So whether it will just be an arena, will it have a bigger piece to it, like a field house, a pool, all the different parts it could have, and making that truly a regional facility and a regional decision. So we're hopeful that construction will start on the building itself in the spring.
Okay, great. Let's see. So I hear that you guys passed a first reading of the new area structure plan amendment that will be between Petra, Can, and the No Frills. So can you talk a little bit more about what's happening there?
Sure. So an area structure plan is it's like a plan for what a community will look like, what it will build out. So you want to be able to see where the roads will be and where all the different housing pieces will be, the different commercial pieces as well. This one's exciting because it does include the new Catholic elementary school. So we've seen the first reading and the initial plans for what the piece of land will look like. It will have commercial along the front, so hopefully we'll see things like hotels and other businesses come in there. The school will be kind of down towards No Frills, and then the rest of it will build out with mostly residential. So we're going to have a public hearing coming up, I believe the first meeting in May, that people will be able to come in and give their input, whether or not they have any issues with the decisions that we've made on that, and we'll be able to pass that and get the school started right away.
Okay, great. Sounds good. There's also talk of a shopping mall. Is that true?
No, I mean the commercial frontage piece on that piece of land kind of just runs along the front of 100th Street. So it's going to include things most likely like a hotel and maybe like a Boston Pizza type restaurant and office buildings. There's not enough space there for like a big shopping mall.
Besides that, are there any other developments we can expect to happen in the town in the future?
Well, now that we've seen Dairy Queen and it's a nail place, Q Nails, it's opening up next to Dairy Queen, kind of built out. We're going to need more roads down there, more access. There's going to be lots of more people. So I expect we're going to see some more commercial development south of that fairly soon. Also, the piece of land that is above the industrial park, so kind of south of where the seed cleaning plant is, that's all sold. So developers are going to come starting to put some commercial development in there. And then the rec center is going to bring lots of things. We've had meetings with all kinds of chain restaurants that you guys will be familiar with, lots of fast food that want to come out to build by the rec center. So
that sounds exciting.
Be a new Morinville pretty soon.
So are there any upcoming events for the town of Morinville that students can look forward to?
Well, St. John Baptiste Festival is coming up, a townwide garage sale, which is always cool, and the reuse or lose it is in coordination, so you can do both the garage sale shopping and then dump all the stuff that you have to get rid of it the same day. We're excited about seeing St. John Baptiste Festival. I think it's going to be a cool event this year with the lumberjack stuff, so hopefully you guys will get involved in that. And then just throughout the summer, there'll be more things that we're announcing. There's a couple of great concerts coming. There's a big national event that's coming in the fall. So I think some things like that youth will really want to get involved in.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun. With a lot of kids graduating and becoming independent adults, an important part of that is becoming active members in the community. So how do young people, such as myself, become involved in helping our community and voicing our concerns and so forth?
Well, we really we get excited about people coming and giving us input. That doesn't happen as regularly as people would think. We see a lot of conversations happening on social media, but it's really rare for someone to come up to a counselor and get in touch with them and let them know what they think on issues. We have our council meetings, they're all public, and they're not as boring as you'd expect, so sometimes it can get pretty exciting. So it's fun to come to those. They're on Tuesday nights, starting at 7:30 at the town office. But we're on social media. You'll get all the council members and myself on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can email allcouncil@morinville.ca and get all of us at once if you have any concerns to talk about. But we're really excited about getting more input. We also have committees. You can run for committees on the town for positions there. And I think getting involved early through the youth center and things like that set you up to get some opportunities for great jobs. We have really great summer jobs at the town of Morinville as well. And if you get involved early and get to know people, you have opportunities for those.
Okay. Sounds like a lot of fun. Coming up after the break, I'll be back with your 7-day forecast for Morinville. Will the warm weather continue? Find out in 2 minutes.
Stop doing late night homework. Just don't get the stuff. Getting frustrated over little work? Well, try our new Penomatic 9000. It makes the work easy. It will do all the homework for you. With just your average pen, you won't do good on any tests. But with the Penomatic 9000, you will pass every test with a breeze. Having the Penomatic 9000, people will think you're cool for once.
Sup, bruh?
Hey! Hey guys, how's it going?
Don't be that guy with the boring old pen. People won't like you.
Nobody likes you.
Remember, don't be like this loser. Get the Penomatic 9000 today.
Get up, loser! Take a look at our national forecast. In the West Coast, in Whitehorse, it's a mix of sun and rain at 9 degrees. Vancouver is a mix of sun and cloud, mostly sunny, at 18 degrees. Regina has a warm 32 degrees with mostly sun with a little bit of cloud. Same with Winnipeg. Toronto now is 16 degrees with a little bit of rain, but mostly sunny. Iqaluit is snowing, unfortunately for them, at 0 degrees. St. John's is 4 degrees with mostly rain. Halifax is the same, but with 8 degrees. Let's take a look at our provincial forecast. High level is 17, mostly sun. Grand Prairie is the same on both fronts. Jasper is rain with 15 degrees. Banff, 11. Calgary, 15. Medicine Hat, 26, mostly sunny. Edmonton is a little bit of rain with sun at 17 degrees, and Fort McMurray is at 19 with rain but mostly sunny. Let's take a look at our current conditions. Right now, our live view from Airwolf, our drone, it looks pretty good. Let's take a look at what the current conditions are right now. Okay, 16 degrees, that's nice. There is a mix of sun and cloud. Relative humidity is 32 degrees, and sunset tonight is at 9:12 p.m. Let's take a look at our week-long forecast. So everything looks pretty sunny with a few clouds. The high of this week is going to be Saturday at 27 degrees. All right, back to you, Ben.
Thanks, Skyla. One of the most popular yet frustrating video game series is Dark Souls. Combining the best of storytelling games such as Mass Effect and the medieval third-person action of the Elder Scrolls series, Dark Souls is a game that can definitely suck you in, as Stephen Hoffman explains in his piece, Dark Souls Ruins Lives.
Developed by Japanese developer From Software, Dark Souls 3 is the latest chapter in the Dark Souls series with its trademark sword and sorcery combat and rewarding RPG gameplay. People say Dark Souls 3 is an achievement of game design and has phenomenal story and music. What these people are saying may be the truth, but they haven't even scratched the surface of what Dark Souls is and what it can do to you. Dark Souls physically and mentally destroys gamers around the world, ruining their trust and their sanity.
It's ruined me. It's ruined me.
Dark Souls has, quote, ruined other games for people.
What am I doing?
And if you are able to escape Dark Souls, you will end up like this poor fella.
Come on, what was that?
Welcome back. Here's what's happening in the world of sports. In the NHL, the second round of the playoffs continued with Game 4 of the Caps-Pens series, which needed to go into extra time to be decided. Patrick Hornquist scored the winner 2:34 into overtime, with giving Pittsburgh a 3-2 victory and a 3-1 series lead over Washington. The only game of the NBA last night saw LeBron James score 27 points and Kevin Love adding 13 rebounds to help Cleveland beat Atlanta 123-90. The Cavs now lead the second round playoff series 2-0. Turning to the majors, Toronto edged Texas 4-3. The Cubbies beat the Pirates 6-2. Cincinnati won home 7-4 over San Francisco. The Mets blanked the Braves 8-0. The Los Angeles Angels won on the road 7-3 over the Milwaukee Brewers. The Nationals got on their bats to beat the defending World Series champs, the Royals, 13-2. Seattle edged Oakland 9-8, and the Houston Astros blew the Minnesota Twins out of the building with a score of 16-4. Up next, Grade 9 reporters Connor, Ryan, and Sarah Menduick had a chance to catch up with students working in the foods labs as part of their Home Economic 9 option course, learning all about the basics of cooking and sewing as their news report explains.
Home ec is a two-part class for grade 9s, including cooking and sewing.
Home ec is two areas, the sewing and the cooking.
Home ec is a class where you can learn skills that help you later in life or at home with cooking and sewing.
Well, hopefully in home ec they'll come out with some basic skills that they can use at home. The home ec program is divided into two units. They do a sewing unit and they do a foods unit.
There's many things to do in the sewing unit itself. Mrs. Appel, Josiah Zerbin, and Maddie Bueller explain.
So in the sewing unit they'll use basic skills, knowledge to mend maybe clothes if they rip, that sort of thing. They do make a project too, so they know how to use a sewing machine and they know how to hand sew.
We practice doing different stitches and then do our big project. Hello.
I made a sock monkey and we use hand sewing. It's like 4 different stitches we had to do.
In cooking, attention is key because you have to do many things in a certain amount of time, not burning your food, but making it just right.
In the foods unit, we start with what is called food basics. So they learn nutrition, but they also learn the basic skills in the kitchen to start them off, following recipes, learning all the tools, equipment, cooking terms, measuring skills.
Mrs. Appel has been teaching since the school opened and tells us the difficulty of having a grade 9 44-minute block instead of a high school 90-minute block.
Well, the challenges are we have to break the cooking classes down into 2 blocks because there isn't time to do everything, especially if there's baking. So usually for every grade 9 class there's a prep block and then there's a completion block.
Many opinions on which grades were better to take home ec. Some like younger and some older.
Probably now we get to do different things and more things.
6, 7, 8 I took it. It was better in grade 8 because all we did was cook food. We didn't sew.
Home ec is a great experience for many students, allowing them to cook and sew at school. For MCTV News, Connor Ryan reporting.
Let's take a look at what's going on around MCHS this week. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week. Be sure to participate in the brown bag discussion groups held every lunch hour in room 101. Otherwise, get on social media and start a conversation about this very difficult issue. Next Wednesday, May 11th, Mr. Maslick will be taking students to see the largest trades and technologies competition in the province. Skills Alberta is held in the Edmonton Expo Centre and showcases over 40 career options. Permission forms are available in student services on a first-come, first-served basis. The MCHS Drama Department presents its spring play, Sweet Surrender, on May 11th at 7 p.m. in the Morinville Community Cultural Centre. Tickets are available in the front office for $5. Attention grads. You have until this afternoon to get your baby pictures and middle school pictures to Rebecca Carrison, otherwise you will not be in the grad slideshow. Although grad isn't until June, May is definitely a busy month for grade 12s at MCHS. On Wednesday, May 11th, the final grad meeting will be held at lunch in the gym. Info on how to purchase tickets on how to fill out your grad statement will be covered. On Monday, May 23rd, the grad class is organizing a bottle drive, and on Wednesday, May 25th, a bake sale will be held at lunch. If you are able to work either event, please sign up in room 207 ASAP. Please bring in your pop can taps from home and drop them off in the bin in Center Court. Freddie says thank you. Need your MCTV news fix? If so, head online to www.mch.battlestein.net. Our digital archive is expanding and will soon include all episodes aired during our last 22 season. For this and all other school info, keep connected by listening to the daily announcements, logging on to the school's website at www.mchs.gsacred.ab.ca, following the school on Twitter at MCHS Wolves, or following MCTV News on Twitter at MCHS MCTV News.
Coming up next, my co-host and I recently competed at the Edmonton Regional Skills Competition in the video production category. Facing off against a dozen schools from the Edmonton area, we were assigned the task of producing a 1-minute video based on the topic Overcoming Adversity. When the dust settled, we placed first in the region, winning gold and earning a spot in next week's provincial competition against 14 of the best schools from across Alberta. Here's a video that got us here.
Keep going. I have to keep going. Even under this pressure, I have to keep going. But it's hopeless. I'm expected to fix the past to make a better tomorrow. How do I do that? Where do I start?
Oh, come on, like it's hard? I mean, all you have to do is graduate high school, get a job, and I don't know, get into post-secondary. I don't know how hard that is for you.
Yeah, where I'll study for hours and hours. For what? I'm not even guaranteed a job when I get out. If I graduate, that is. It's all too much. I can handle this. One step at a time.
That's our show for today. Thanks for tuning in. Coming up on next week's episode, Dan Foley brings us a report on yesterday's townwide cleanup in Morinville. Shalom McNaughton gives us another installment of Grind My Gears, and Steve Pritchard shows us the tough job that the federal candy inspectors do every day. All this, plus sports highlights and your Morinville 7-day weather forecast on Friday the 13th episode of MCTV News.
Okay, before we sign off, we would like to take a moment to offer our thoughts and prayers to all those affected by the wildfires in Fort McMurray this week. If you wish to help out, it was announced this morning by the federal government that they will match dollar for dollar all donations made to the Canadian Red Cross. You can contact the Red Cross at 1-888-350-6070 or go to their website at www.redcross.ca.
From all of us at MCTV News, I'm Skylar Lomla.
And I'm Ben Lawrence. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week, MCHS.